How's it going, everyone? It's Vivi and welcome back. So, about Spyro the Dragon. Are we looking at an IP with potential? Meaning, is this something Activision thinks is worthy to expand upon? I'm gonna say yes. So dude, you're saying Spyro had great sales? Most likely. Although not as much as the Insane Trilogy. Confirmed to have sold around 10 million by Activision, by the way, Spyro must have sold enough. Although Activision didn't emphasize on its numbers, calling Spyro one of their flagship IPs is basically a very strong sign for the fate of the series. If ever curious, VG Chartz estimated 1 million sales at retail the first 2 days of launch. This was revealed back on February 4th, 2019. Total PS4 sales estimated at 2 million currently. Xbox sales, well, 650k. Hey, I mean, it's still something. Now let's say you were to compare the estimated number of sales of Insane Trilogy on VG Chartz with the 10 million that Activision revealed, you'll notice that the estimated sales will not add up to 10 million, and that's because VG Chartz is all about physical sales. It's nothing digital related. As for Activision, they're taking into account everything, digital and physical. Also, don't forget, back in late 2018, Spyro and Crash got a bundle, so Activision might be counting the sales of that as well. So at the end of the day, the numbers you see for Spyro on VG Chartz, not only is it an estimate, but two, it doesn't include the digital numbers. But still, is the number of sales close to 10 million? We'll never know, until Activision publicly comes out and says yes, sales have reached this point. On September 3rd, 2019, the game launched on PC and Switch. There's no estimate for those, but we can all easily assume that Spyro has enough sales to warrant a brand new game. If I were to guess, 2021 will be the year in which we'll get a brand new Spyro game. Let me get a breakdown for you. Seeing as how both Crash and Spyro are flagship IPs with sales that surely surpassed their expectations, well, I'd like to believe that Activision will alternate between these two IPs when it comes to releases. Meaning first a Crash game gets released, then Spyro, then Crash, rinse and repeat. And this is exactly what happened currently. Insane Trilogy released in 2017, developed by Vicarious Visions. 2018, Spyro Reignited Trilogy by Toys for Bob. 2019, Crash Nitro Fueled by Beanox. There's two things we have to pay attention to when bringing these facts up. Number one, the year of release, and two, the developers. These exact dates give us a pretty good example of what Activision might be planning. Don't forget, there was this rumor of Crash Bandicoot having a 5-year plan, so with that in mind, we could be expecting Spyro and Crash to switch between the two, which one gets released first and stuff. And number two, notice how it's all made by different developers. These are all teams owned by Activision. Vicarious Visions, their game released in 2017, alright. We are now in 2020. Almost 3 years since the launch of Insane Trilogy. That's an ample amount of time to work on a brand new game, assuming that Vicarious Visions is in fact working on the brand new Crash game. But what if another remake, Vivi? Look, going off potential estimated sales and what Rob Kostick, if that's how he pronounces his name, General Manager and Executive Vice President of Call of Duty, what he said back in August 2019 during an earnings call, but just beyond pure remasters, there are also a lot of opportunities now to innovate and think about totally new content within these IPs. This was said after he mentioned that Crash did in fact sell about 10 million copies. We can safely assume that not only Crash, but Spyro could also receive a brand new game in 2021. Vicarious Visions' next Crash game this year, let's say 2020, and Spyro could happen next year. Reignited Trilogy released in 2018. 2021 would be enough time for a brand new Spyro game, right? Yes, in February 2020, Activision did say they're going to focus on remasters and reimaginings and mobile games, as we saw with Crash Bandicoot by King, a developer owned by Activision, the ones known for Candy Crush and stuff. Yes, they are making a mobile Crash game, but that doesn't mean they're stepping away from a potential brand new game. What I'm trying to say is this shouldn't ruin the chances of Spyro getting a new game. And why? Remember this leak by Toys for Bob? There were character models of Crash Bandicoot. We can assume they're helping Vicarious Visions on the next Crash game. After all, they did help the team with Insane Trilogy. If Crash is getting a new game, the same should happen to Spyro. And that's a theory you've probably heard a lot. Whatever happens to Crash, happens to Spyro. To add to this theory, Toys for Bob is currently looking for a senior technical artist with following description. Toys for Bob is seeking an experienced, highly motivated, and enthusiastic SR technical artist to join our team. We are looking for a seasoned veteran who loves making games to take ownership of the art tools and pipelines as we build our next game using Unreal Engine 4. This is very interesting. Unreal Engine 4, you say? Is there a possibility that this next game is Spyro the Dragon? After all, Reignited Trilogy runs on the Unreal Engine 4. So going off the breakdown we just did, on how the games might alternate and stuff, this seems to be lining up pretty well for the next development of Spyro. The what you'll do list on their site doesn't seem to hint at anything new in terms of gameplay or mechanics. The description of the job pretty much has to do with environmental things. So with that being said, folks, this is it for the video. So tell me in the comment section below, going by how every year we had a Crash game and a Spyro game, so far Reignited Trilogy, Insane Trilogy, and Nitro Fueled, and the teams who worked on them, do you feel like 2021 is the year in which Toys for Bob will launch their next Spyro game? Leave all of your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.